I just spoke with Doctor Kondo. I'm not going to tell you his home name. I'm sharing with you his Christian name. I spoke with Doctor Kondo. I know you think, well, aren't I Polish? And it's like, it doesn't matter, because my grandpa, when we spoke, and he said, oh, Ushan, Sevinichi Nivishi. And then he said another phrase. That's one that I know, that I only know from my grandpa when I took my Japanese friend. He's my brother. He's not my friend. He is my friend, but he's my brother. He's both of those things combined. And I called him for a little bit of advice, because, well, of course, he's got his PhD in entomology, and we've run into each other in different places in the world, and evidently we saw Metallica together, and I just can't place it. He remembers everything. He said my grandfather's accent perfectly. He speaks languages. Who doesn't? Oh, people that don't want to communicate, but he does it perfectly. And then he added that other one, not just Ushan Sevinichi Nuvishi, which means sit down and don't let it hang. I stopped at that part of it because I follow with a joke. It doesn't matter whether it's a man or a woman. It just depends on their age. Ushan Sevinichi Nuvishi. But he's got the end point on it that I forgot, that my grandpa had taught us, both standing there laughing in Gaylord, Michigan. It was, sit down, don't let it hang. I shit my pants. He's got that other one in there. So I talked to Damien. Oh, Doctor Kondo. I spoke of his name the other day, last week. And that's how we came to talk again. I said, did you get the video? Because I spoke of him. I spoke about his name being spelled Demian, Damien, from the Hermann Hesse novel that Damien's father named him after. That versus Damien from The Omen. Damien is the good brother. He's what Damien from The Omen, Damien, Damien from The Omen, could have done well with, is having a brother. Doctor Kondo got me, but I have to get up. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to get the novel because I talked about it the other day, and I looked up in front of me, and of course it's right there. I mean, oh, I've got, I suppose, 3 of them right here. There's Steppenwolf. I'm looking at that. They named a band after that. And it happened to be a good band. I was told to read this, so I read it. And it was good. The Hungry Wolf, Coming Down, The Theater of the Mind, all this stuff. This is the one. It's Damien. My friend was named after. I called him to ask him about the toads. And it makes me wonder if he makes the connection that there's a, a long existence of folktale that speaks of the princess and the frog, where she has to kill or kiss the frog because she made a promise to it. And her father says, you must keep the promise. So she lets it eat at her table, drink of her cup, and share her bed. And then she murders the son of a bitch. I'm like, oh no, the princess and the frog. I've got bobs all over here. I've got these little toads that we took one from northern Michigan, Elba, a few years ago. Probably broke rules, I don't know, but the kid wanted it, so we kept it over the winter in a damn, what do you call it, a tidy cat's litter box. I've got one over there. I'm not going to get up and bother showing it to you, but I put some soil, mud in it. We kept it inside, and it sat in there in solitary confinement all winter long, because we couldn't just bring it down at the time and expect it to burrow into the ground and survive the winter in a new place. We kept this thing, and every once in a while you'd hear it singing, and it was first thing in the spring. We let it out when it was safe, and Bob went out into the world, and he kept coming in. He comes into the studio all the time. He goes pop, 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 and he'd push the door open, and he'd come in, and that's coming in the winters too. It comes all through the summer, but in the winter he's like, okay, I'm coming home. I hear him over here digging, finding a place to hibernate in the winter because it's cold in the garage. I mean, the studio. You have no idea. Sometimes you see me topless, but it's because, well, sometimes you just gotta let yourself be seen if there's no time to freeze to death. The cigarette went out. Damn it. And so I got a hold of Doctor Kondo. I suppose you could call it something like an advisor. I've got friends, at least one friend that yeah. This is different. My sister called me once saying that their whole family thought I was part of the CIA. This is different. I'm closer to what the CIA could be. And so I've got a friend that's in the CIA. Let's just put it that way. I've got a friend that's been with ICE for years. I went to his TAC retirement thing from the Air Force. He was with me in Iraq. He retired as a first sergeant. I went and we blew some shit up with aircrafts, and we shot guns. We had a good time. He's ICE. I don't know how he feels about ICE now. We are a couple people that have only been in contact through the years by happenstance. We always find each other again. Haven't talked to him in a while. I've got an entomologist friend who I figures probably follows some amphibian stuff. And so I asked him, how do I allow all these bobs? They're tiny, they're big, they're huge, they're everywhere you go in the yard. You think we punish Bob by keeping him in solitary confinement? That's the way I've wanted it to be. put me in prison for a while, and after about 3 months, bring me a fucking typewriter. Bob went out and he brought everything back. All the chicks in the neighborhood, all the toady girls, the groupies, they come here. Bob screwed them all. There are toads of every size everywhere you go. It's become like when you think of locust and pestilence in the Armageddon, wouldn't you want toads sitting there to combat the pestilence and blah, blah, just eat these damn locusts up and bring good to our world? I'm trying to figure out how to put something in the garage here that they can hibernate in. And I know I can get a great big garbage can and drill holes inside it and put about 10 inches of soil in there. That's where they like to, but I'd have to go 15 to keep them 5 inches off the concrete below. I called Damien and we talked about it. We're brothers. It's about abraxas. It's about seeing a mark between the eyes. I've seen it on others in the form of a bird's egg, a small bird's egg. That's Damien. Damien was raised with the mother of another child. We're all raised by mothers of other children. The interesting thing is, whereas men go out looking for a father all the time, outside of their own, even when they're right there in their lives, a boy never goes out looking for a mother figure as long as he has one. And I do believe Damien, in this novel, he looked for a mother. But Damien Kondo, he has one. He says, build a habitat for that family of Bob.